just letting you come in. This is the educational show, right? We preach, we teach. I'm gonna eventually put the show on a different page. I'm just growing that. But we are here. We're gonna talk about science, technology, history, right? Then we have our business section. Then we have a learning section where we may review some videos every day about growing your own food and um, a few more interesting topics. So we're gonna get into this first topic, right, of science, which I thought it was a very interesting topic. Just because it says what modern living is stripping our gut of healthy bacteria. Now, the article is basically talking about how, um, like it says, everyone knows that fiber is healthy and an important part of our daily diet. What is fiber and why is it healthy? Fiber is cellulose. That is the stringy stuff that plants are made of. So when you eat, vegan or vegetarian, as a vegetarian, you're typically gonna eat a lot of plants, and you should get a lot of fiber. And basically, our bodies and our ancestors' bodies is used to digesting these plants, these celluloses. And it gives a good description here in the article about how basically without the proper bacteria to break down cellulose is basically a log floating in water, right? And that's how it is in your body. It's there, it's getting wet, but it's not being broken down. And what they're saying is because we now eat differently than our ancestors, we have fast food, we have takeout, we have so many different things that is not natural, that are gut bacteria that breaks down cellulose is gradually disappearing. So I just thought that was very interesting. It even says here our ancestors in Africa 200,000 years ago did not pick up lunch from drive-through or phone in a home delivery for dinner. So in Western societies, this does, however, happen on a fairly large scale, and the dieting is changing in industrialized societies. And we are far removed from the farms where food is produced. This shift away from a rich fiber diet is possibly explanation for the loss of important cellulose degrading microbes in our microbiome. So, the answer to solving this, as they say, is hey, eat more fiber. Pretty much, just keep eating fiber because the processed food that we're eating, it isn't fiber rich, and that over time does affect us as human beings. So let's go into the next topic. Now, the next topic is going to be learning. We want to learn our language, and then we want to learn others as well. So we're going to start here. Now, say this with me: zenith, 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 zenith. Right? That's what it says here. We'll zoom in for you so you can see it a little better. Right? Zenith, zenith. So what is zenith? Right? Zenith means the high point. Okay, it comes from astronomy where it describes the highest point in an arc traveled by a star or a planet. The sun reaches its zenith when it is as high in the sky as it's going to go on that day. So the highest point is the zenith. All right, so you can always remember that. This is a new word we can add to our vocabulary. It has a little small quiz over here. Zenith has the same or almost the same meaning as what? Fresh start? No. Rule of law? No. High point? Correct. Exactly. It is definitely the high point. All right. So, in your conversation um, coming up, hopefully you can find a way to use this word zenith. And then here, I want to use it in a sentence, or how did they use it in a sentence? The vast wasteland of television programming had finally reached its zenith, and the average person was no longer limited to 15 minutes of fame. So that's just an easy way to use zenith, right? So remember that, zenith. Now, on to our next words. I might pronounce one wrong, right? But we're just going over, and these are easy. We're starting easy. You know, we don't just we're not fluent in Spanish, but this is what we're doing. You know, appreciating other cultures as well as the culture that we're here with. So, of course, adios. That's goodbye. I think we all know adios. Adios, adios, amigo, amigo. So I'm guessing amigo is friend, right? Yeah. Uh, Pretty easy. Buenos dias. This is basic. Good morning. Good morning. Buenos dias. Buenos noches. So that's good night. Buenos noches is good night. Buenos tardes. Good afternoon. Buenos tardes. That's good afternoon. So let's see. De nada. You're welcome. De nada. De nada. You're welcome. Let's go. Oh, disculpo. Disculp. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I just gotta say the English one because I don't even know how to say the Spanish one. Uh, the next is gracias. So that's thank you. I think we know that one. Hola. Hi. No. No. So it's the same. It's the same. No, it's the same in Spanish. It's the same in English. Then we go to how you say sorry or excuse me. Pardon. Pardon me. Pardon. And then please, por favor. So if you ever hear people saying por favor, they're saying please. And salud, bless you. Cheers. That's usually when you see them they hit the glasses. Salud. And then lastly, si, which is yes, right? So again, very easy, very basic, and only just for the start. Because again, as we continuously do the show, it's going to, of course, get harder. All right, now on to our quick business ventures. This is a quick video, right? Now I'm gonna speed this video up, of course, for copyright purposes, but I just want to go over this. You still will be able to hear it, and I want to go over this video. I want to let it play because this is a business, and it's just showing how a lot of us we seen. If you haven't seen it, the tragic Maryland bridge that was destroyed in Baltimore, right? Taking out a lot of people. Bless those people, but no one's probably thinking about the business side of that. So let's hear, you know, how this can impact the average American's wallet just by that crash. It impacts us as an economy. So let's see.
More than 1.1 million containers of cargo passed through the port of Baltimore last year, including more cars and light trucks than any other port in the U.S. What effect is this going to have beyond Maryland on the national economy and the supply chain? Could Americans see delays and higher prices as a result?
Absolutely, and people have to remember this is not a Baltimore catastrophe, not a Maryland catastrophe. This is a national economic catastrophe as well. As you mentioned, I mean, this port is one of the busiest, most active ports inside of the country, and so this is not just having an impact on Maryland. This is going to impact the farmer in Kentucky. This is going to impact the auto dealer in Ohio. This is going to impact the restaurant owner in Tennessee. Whether you're talking about all those various industries, the port of Baltimore is the largest port in the country for all of those things. And so the reason that we need people to move in a bipartisan basis and move in a fast basis is not because we need you to do Maryland a favor. Maryland needs no favors. We need to make sure that we're actually moving quickly to get the American economy going again because the port of Baltimore is instrumental in our larger economic growth.
This isn't Sherman. No wonder I don't feel it.
So that was just a good breakdown. It's very important that we get that back up and running because again, it can impact everybody. It's not just one person or two people impacted. Like those people, the people that has cargo on those ships, like they have to figure that out. Now, hopefully, they have insurance. Of course, they should have insurance, but that still has to be figured out, which is another topic that I can go into, but we'll get back to that because I want to stay focused. Now, this is just a quick, I want to just, show this real quick because we're going to learn. We have to learn here, right? We got to learn something. Negotiation style, right? Now, there's a few different ways to negotiate, and we're going to skim through them real quick, only because, yes, this is tactics that you can see and observe in business, but this is also something you can do and observe in a relationship, right? In your relationship. So, in relationships in general, friendships, relationships with your mother, your father. And it says forcing. If a party has a high concern for itself and a low concern for the other party, it may adopt a competitive approach that only takes into account the outcome it desires. Now, if you notice somebody using this tactic, me personally, I wouldn't negotiate with them. I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with them. I wouldn't want to do business with them because you're forcing it and you're not really thinking about me. All right, collaborating. If a party has a high concern and care for both itself and the other party, it will often employ a collaborative negotiation that seeks to maximize the gain for both, which is what you're looking for, right? No matter where you're going, business, relationship, you should want a person that is willingly ready and organically able to collaborate with you, because that would be the best business partner that you could find, me personally. Then we're going to go to compromising. A compromising approach to negotiation will take place when parties share some concerns for both themselves and the other party. While it is not always possible to collaborate, parties can often find certain points that are more important to one versus the other. And in that way, find ways to isolate what is most important to each party. So again, in that sense, we're both giving something, okay? I may have to slow down, you may have to speed up, but within that, we can come to a middle ground if we're both on different spectrums, just using that as an example. So then we're going to go to avoiding. When a party has low concern for itself and for the other party, it will often try to avoid negotiation completely. And of course, if they're avoiding negotiation completely, it's not smart to do any type of business with them. And then lastly is yielding. Finally, when a partner has a low self-concern for itself and a high concern for the other party, it will yield to demands that may not be in its own best interest. So usually you don't want to be in the yielding situation, okay? You don't want to be the yielder, all right? Like I said, if you are doing any business, you should only try to do business with people that are collaborating type of spirits and individuals. That is the best type of business partner for your business, all right? Now, we are going to go on to the next one. Now, when we look at this, I wanted to go over this because was in 1923. We have to go over history. We have to give some form of history. This was in 1923, the first all-black professional basketball team organized. Now, of course, we don't hear about this, these days. Now, this team came before the NBA, right? And they did a lot of great things, okay? So the team's founder was Robert L. Douglas, whose primary objective was to give New York City males, black athletes, an opportunity to better themselves. I mean, that's pretty much what we always try to do. So he came up with a team, right? And the team was called the Wrens, right? So with black players bare from professional basketball leagues, the Wrens barnstormed throughout the country, often competing against all white teams, right? So you gotta probably think, they didn't like the Wrens. They didn't like the Wrens at all, because they was winning. And even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar knew about them. It even says here, I tried to spread the word about Douglas with my book and documentary, On the Shoulder of Giants, which you can check that out. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar told The Undefeated in 2017. I did both to make people aware of the Wrens' contribution to basketball, because it's important that we honor those pioneers who made this billion-dollar industry possible. Facts. The Wrens' immediate success and notoriety helped shift the presence of African-American sports from the amateur level to the professional level. They were able to compete with and even defeat the original Boston Celtics, who were one of the dominant professional white teams during that era. Okay? This was a good team. This was a great team. In 1932 to the 33 season, they had won 88 consecutive games. I'm technically speaking, even though that was before the NBA, that was better than the Bulls team, than the 73-9 Warriors. In 1939, 7 years before the launch of the NBA, the Wrens won the World Professional Basketball Tournament. In 1949, the Wrens, then based in Dayton, Ohio, played their last game as part of the Racial Integrated National Basketball League. By that time, the NBA was up and running and interested in brainstorming basketball had wand. In 1936, the Wrens team was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Thank you for the Wrens for paving the way for the billion-dollar company that people are able to watch today. We appreciate it. An all-black team that we don't really learn about. So that's a great one. So now I want to go here real quick and shed some light, right? We got to shed some light. So we're going over history. And in history, we're looking at African. We're looking at African inventors here, all right? So we're starting off with Severin. You go look him up, right? And if you didn't know, we're just dropping a quick jewel. He is one of the inventors in Africa, but he is the one who invented the Navigator, which is compatible with most mobile equipment such as planes, trains, cars, and security gates. So if you know what the Navigator is, then you should understand that this man, he is the one that invented that, right? He is the one that invented the navigating system. So just remember that, all right, for your history. It's right here. It's right here. And we'll go in more depth and detail. We're just staying on course for this first half. All right, now we're gonna go here to growing vegetables, right? And I wanted to already have it a little started because of course I don't want the copyright purposes, but this is how you can grow zucchini.
Yeah, and they just
So you can
post
come
these.
here,
All right, so we're gonna set.
and when you come here, this is a 5-minute video, and I can't speed this up. But you can come here, and you can learn how to grow your own food at home. They're showing you right here for free.
So as I said, we have the variety we have today here is Dundu, so 2 to 3 centimeters depth. Then we're going to put that. Obviously, it needs to be kept warm, so in the greenhouse. Greenhouse, or if you have space on your windowsill, a south-facing windowsill, so your mics, it won't stir up. They're very sensitive.
And why are we learning this? Because it is important that we can grow our own foods. Period. We, as human beings, the earth is here for us to grow our own. Soil is here for us to grow our own. Seeds are here for us to plant. So you can come here. I just don't want the copyright. As you see, they're teaching you, they're giving you the game. If you like zucchini, ask for the link. This video will literally explain to you how to grow zucchini at your house.
So you cover them with fleece, and that gives you extra 3 degrees frost protection.
Okay, 5-minute video. 5 weeks later is how long it should take.
We've got some courgettes here. Courgettes, we can plant them inside and outside, can't we? But better under here.
And that's how long it took to grow.
Yeah, you get.
Okay, and then lastly, we're gonna end it off here, which I was able to speed this one up. But this is just a video about herbal medicine, right? Because again, we need to be able to know what plants can help us and medicate us on our own. You know, if we figure that out, we're in good standings, right? So that is another reason why I brought this here, because again, it's going to be imperative that we learn this. Now, this is going to go quick, and then, so you got to kind of keep up. I'll pause it.
History of herbal medicine. Medicinal plants have been used for medicinal purposes long before recorded history.
So as you see, it's been used way before by Chinese people, Egyptians, African, and Native Americans. So if the ancient Chinese and the Egyptians, the Africans, the Native Americans, if they use this type of medicine, I think it would be wise for us to keep trying to use these type of medicines. So
For
right now
example,
we're learning the history of
ancient
it.
Chinese, Egyptian, Africans, and Native Americans. There were also traditional medical systems grown out of herbal treatment, such as Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine. Scientists found that people in different parts of the globe tended to use the same or similar plants for the same purposes. In the early 19th century, when methods of chemical analysis first became available, scientists began extracting and modifying the active ingredients from plants. Later, chemists began making their version of plant compounds, beginning the transition from raw herbs to synthetic pharmaceuticals. Over time, the use of herbal medicines declined in favor of pharmaceuticals.
Which we're not going to act as if there is just no benefit to pharmaceuticals at all. No. We've seen some great things happen, but no, it would be best to keep using this. Recently, the World Organization estimated 75% of the people worldwide rely on herbal medicines for some aspect of their primary health care. Yeah, and we should get that number higher. If you don't rely on this, then you should.
Recently, the World Health Organization estimated that 75% of people worldwide rely on herbal medicines for some aspect of their primary health care.
So next, we're going to talk about the use of it, right? It's a class. Okay, so we got this done around 20 minute show. Maybe sometimes it'll be a 30-minute show. Hopefully you learn. This is what this is here for. We're here to learn, okay? We are here. This is like an online schooling situation. This is a classroom, okay? We're here so we can learn. We want to educate ourselves. We want to always stay working. We want to always stay trying to be better. And the more knowledge and information that we can get, especially through the internet, where there's a lot of foolery, if we can get some knowledge and information from this, then it will be a great thing. As you can see, that's me in the Amazon in the background. All right, so come back.